Hey guys, how's it going? This is BillyEatWorld again, and today we're going to be talking about the transition from Battlefield 4 on the current gen consoles to Battlefield 4 on the next gen consoles. As many of you guys already know, I'm a console gamer and I've been for quite some time. I play on console not because I can't afford to play on PC, and not because I think consoles are better. I just enjoy sitting in front of my TV with a controller a whole lot more. A high-end gaming rig is probably no doubt one of the best ways to experience Battlefield 4, but fortunately for me and for millions of other console gamers out there, with the arrival of the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, the experience on console is now as close as it can get to gaming on a PC. Now when I talk about current gen, I'm talking about Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3 consoles. I realise that the new consoles are already here and technically they are the current generation, but the fact is most people I know haven't been able to get hold of a next gen console yet, can't afford one, or just aren't ready to make the switch. The new consoles also don't have a lot of games yet, and many of the games already available are either old games that have been ported to the new systems or games that have already been released on the old consoles. I think when the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 actually have a decent library of games, most people will start to make the switch, and it's only then, in my opinion, that the new console generation will start, as people will start to play their new consoles more and their old consoles less. I've recently picked up a PS4 and I can tell you, I can see myself playing PS3 a lot more than the PS4 in coming months, because not only is there a lack of good games for the PS4 at the moment, I've also got a laundry list of amazing games I still haven't picked up yet for the PS3. That being said though, I bought my PS4 purely to play Battlefield 4, which is a decision many of you may not be willing to make just yet. I thought in today's video I'd try and explain my reasoning for making the switch and run you through the notable differences between the consoles and the differences in gameplay. If you're not already aware of the ins and outs of the PlayStation 4, the biggest difference that may affect some gamers is that it no longer has a component or a composite out. Most people tend to have a fairly new TV these days, so this may not be a huge issue to most people, but it affects in particular gamers looking to record their gameplay. Like the PS3, the PS4 has HDCP encryption on its HDMI output, which means that many capture cards aren't going to be able to record it straight out of the box. The PS3's component output was more or less the same quality as the HDMI output, but it wasn't encrypted, so recording decent quality HD footage on a PS3 wasn't a huge issue. Sony has already stated that at some point in a future update, the HDCP encryption will be disabled during games to allow recording of gameplay. The PS4 itself can actually record 15-minute segments of gameplay with the share button, but there isn't any way of transferring this footage straight to another device. If you want to edit the footage to re-upload to YouTube, you currently need to upload the footage to Facebook, download it again, and then once you've finished editing, you've got to upload it again to YouTube. I can tell you, as someone living in Australia where internet connection speeds just aren't that great, this isn't an option for me or for many other people. Xbox One owners fortunately don't have this issue, as the HDCP is disabled during gameplay. However, it also doesn't have a component or a composite output, so just be aware that if you're looking to upgrade to an Xbox One, you'll also need a TV with HDMI inputs. In terms of the differences to Battlefield 4 itself, the graphics are considerably improved on the next-gen consoles. They're not quite as good as the PC, but for the most part they're pretty similar. The textures are a lot nicer on the new systems and the graphics are much smoother. It's particularly obvious when you've been playing the PS4 for some time and then you switch back to the PS3. You don't necessarily appreciate the higher frame rate until you've experienced it firsthand. The core gameplay is pretty much the same on current and next gen though. The main difference is that the new consoles support up to 64 players on a server. These larger servers have larger maps with more objectives though, so although the scope of the battle is bigger, the squad level engagements are pretty much the same. I've also noticed that the netcode issues seem to be worse playing on these larger servers too. It's really hard to appreciate everything else that is great about the next gen version of Battlefield 4 when you keep getting killed when you're well behind cover. All in all though, the next gen version seemed like an all-round improvement on the PS3 and Xbox 360 versions. So if you're already a BF4 player and you do decide to take the plunge and rush out and buy a new console, fortunately the transition is pretty easy. Unlike on PlayStation 3, you'll need a PlayStation Plus account to play games online with your PS4. Xbox One will still need an Xbox Live Gold subscription to play online also. Fortunately, if you already have one of these subscriptions, it will be active on both your current gen and next gen consoles. As both PS Plus and Xbox Live both offer free games every month now too, these subscriptions have never been better value for money. So I wouldn't worry too much about having to pay for online gaming because you're eventually going to get your money's worth anyway with the free games. Another thing that transfers from your current gen console to your next gen console is your friends list. However, just bear in mind that you're not going to be able to join the same servers as players on an older gen console. Transitioning to next gen will to some degree mean that you'll have to leave your old Battlefield friends behind. But when they finally do move to a newer console, you won't have to worry about trying to re-add them. In terms of the specific transition with Battlefield 4, if you've already bought Battlefield 4, you're probably going to have to buy it again. But fortunately, if you upgrade by the end of March, you'll probably only have to pay a fraction of the cost of the game. Back at launch in October 2013, I paid $100 for the game and I upgraded for only $15. So yes, you're going to have to buy the game again, but no, it's not going to break the bank. You'll get to keep your original game disc, but you'll still need to insert it into your PS4 or Xbox One to be able to play it though. Fortunately, it will also still work in your old console too, so if you still have friends that are playing on Xbox 360 or PS3, don't worry, you'll still be able to play with them. So once you've got the game up and running, you'll be given the option to transfer your Battlefield 4 stats to your next gen system. Once you do this though, you'll effectively be duplicating your soldier. What you do on one console won't affect the other, but fortunately you won't lose your unlocks you've already earned on your old system. It's also worth mentioning here that stats won't transfer between brands. If you've been playing on the PS3 and you've just bought the Xbox One, well, unfortunately you'll be buying the game again at full price and starting a new soldier from scratch. But as you can see, on the whole, Sony and DICE have made the transition to next gen pretty easy for Battlefield players. The real question is whether you want to shell out a ton of money for a new console with not that many games just yet. In my honest opinion, if you're enjoying Battlefield 4 how it is on PS3 or Xbox 360, just stick with your old console for at least another few months. I mean, sure, I can see why the next gen versions are better, but I don't doubt that I'd still be enjoying Battlefield 4 on PS3 even now that I own a PS4. Graphics don't make a great game, and being that the core gameplay is the same on all consoles, unless you're a YouTuber like me, I wouldn't be rushing out and buying a new console just to play Battlefield 4. That being said though, if you do have a spare wad of cash lying around and you really are set on making the move to next gen, then I say go for it, you won't be disappointed. I understand that a lot of you are probably going to disagree with me here, but that's okay, that's entirely up to you. Either way, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'd like to hear it, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that haven't made the switch to next gen yet that'd like to hear it as well. But anyway, thanks heaps for watching. As always, if you like what you see, please like, comment and subscribe. And as you may already know, we've just hit 500 subscribers. So if you're one of these people, thank you so much for all your support. It's been an awesome couple of months getting this channel going, and so far the feedback has just been great. So this would be a great time to let me know what you would like to see on this channel in the future. If you've got any suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below, and I'll see what I can do. So anyway, stay tuned, I'll be back soon with more Battlefield 4 videos, and in the meantime check out my other videos in my Battlefield playlist in the description below. And until next time guys, have a good one.